I have a few clips here for you from a far-right event that was held called the ReAwaken America Tour. And it's kind of QAnon conspiracy theorists and QAnon conspiracy theorist adjacent people coming together and talking about all these different wild views. And Donald Trump called into it. Also, Eric Trump and Laura Trump spoke at it. And we'll talk more about that in just a little bit. But before we look at the clip of Trump calling in, I want to kind of give you a sense of what this event was. Truly just detached from reality, unhinged, all those things. We'll look at some clips, but first here's this from Mediaite. The event grabbed headlines even before it began, as journalists and far-right researchers revealed the itinerary listed two notorious pro-Hitler anti-Semites as featured speakers. That was Scott McKay and Charlie Ward, and they eventually were apparently asked not to speak anymore, but they were going to. And then Eric and Laura Trump also spoke. Just truly dangerous individuals, and the views that they espouse, so dangerous. And this is who the Trumps are associating with. So let's walk through some of this, and then we'll get to Trump. We start off with Liz Crokin, who is a Pizzagate believer, and apparently she's been working hard to investigate and expose the truth of Pizzagate. If you're not familiar with it, it's the child sex trafficking ring going on, and at some point it was a part of this conspiracy theory was centered around a pizza shop, and someone shot up that pizza place, and just really unbelievable. And she apparently is still very bought into it and still investigating.
As most of you guys know, I've been exposing Pizzagate since 2016, okay? Yes. It's been a very long 7 years, let me tell you. Somehow I'm still here. But for those that don't know, Pizzagate's very simple. WikiLeaks unleashed the Podesta emails in 2016, and in those emails, we discovered that Podesta and associates were using known pedophile code words in a context that does not apply to food, and one of the main code words they used was pizza. As most of you guys know, I've been exposed.
Okay. So there's that. That's the extent of my analysis on that one. And then we'll take a look at this guy.
I got on American Idol, and I went to the end of Hollywood Week. And, I started hanging out more and getting more experiences with how sick these people were in Hollywood. These people are drinking the blood of children. These people are injecting a chemical called adrenochrome that they extract from children that are scared. This is really happening, and this is the most popular chemical used in Hollywood for the youth. It's a fountain of youth, they say. It's disgusting, and it needs to be exposed. Jim Caviezel tried to expose it and was called crazy, but it's the truth. This is what is being used. These people worship the devil. I got on...
Oh, my goodness. Do I need to say there's no evidence for what he said there? And you saw him try to connect. He just read a bunch of that online, and then because he was on American Idol, he's like, "Ooh, I can sound incredible talking about it." Yeah, my thorough experience from being on Hollywood Week or whatever on American Idol, I can tell you on good authority that it's actually happening. Well, I'll throw some personal experience in the mix, sir. I lived briefly a little while ago in Hollywood and personally investigated myself and found there was none of what he's talking about. There we go. Amanda Grace is the next person we'll look at, described as a prophet, and she has some things to say about mermaids and water people, I think.
There's wickedness attempting to completely cover this nation in perversion and seducing spirits. I have never seen more images of more mermaids and water people in my life. That's a division in the kingdom of darkness, and they're highly technologically advanced. And we have to understand what we're dealing with. And we have to understand the rules of engagement in spiritual warfare. And we are meant for hand-to-hand combat. And we are meant to bring our cries before the throne of God to bring...
Wait, we have to be ready for hand-to-hand combat because of mermaids? Amanda, stop it. You don't have to believe these things. It's decreasing your quality of life. And then same Amanda Grace does what she does here is exactly the kind of skit I would do if I were asked to pretend to be kind of a conspiracy theorist who has all the thumbtacks on the bulletin board with the strings in between it, and I'm trying to connect all these things that don't actually connect, and I'm seeing everything as a sign. And the other day I saw dead grass, and dead grass connects to the stop sign that was kind of chipped paint, and the chipped paint means that 48.6 minus 3, then if you add the divide by, boom, that gets you Trump still president. That's kind of what she does here. Watch.
Faith is a weapon. The enemy hates faith. The way he's trying to take over this nation is to rob it of its faith, to rob it of its foundation. I'm going to tell you why this is a 911 moment, and I'm going to see what the Lord does there, because I can feel the presence of the Lord. President Trump ran, and he was the 45th president of the United States.
So far, I'm following.
He's now running to be the 47th.
True.
4 plus 5 is 9. 4 plus 7 is 11. 911.
Mic drop.
This is a 911 moment. The covenant is under attack in every way possible. The name of the Nashville school was Covenant. The enemy wants this. He wants the covenant. Faith is a...
I never understand with these conspiracy theories. Number one, I don't know what the heck that was. 47, 45, 911 moment. But also, if Satan or if the deep state or whatever, if they were doing bad things, why are they always sending signs? Like, why are they always embedding their message and stuff? Why wouldn't they just do the bad things? Why would they make it to where a few individuals with a history of buying into things that are bunkers could figure it out by connecting the dots very, very loosely? I just never get that. And then Michael Flynn, who was in Trump's administration at one point, and we'll get to Trump saying that maybe he'll be in it again. He said this.
The founders of this country created an experiment in democracy with this beautiful document called the U.S. Constitution. And it's people that you're looking at right now that we're probably going to go to the firing squad together at some day, And I say that, a bit tongue in cheek, but this is what we're up against. I've been on 6 continents. I have fought these bastards around the world, okay? And the worst battles that I have but the worst, sadly, the worst battles, the worst war that I am involved in is in my own country.
Who are you fighting with? We just, as I've said before, we just want to give you health care. We just want to fight against and address inequality of different types, income inequality, racial inequality, etc. We just want to let people be who they are and live their life. And no one's asking for your approval. Just live your life. We're talking about real liberty. Progressives are fighting for actual liberty, not just symbolic, using the term liberty as often individuals like Michael Flynn will use it. And we're just, again, just trying to give you health care, all right? Just calm down, Michael. Why are we worse than the people you fought at war? Whoa, my goodness. And then we get to Trump calling in.
Hey, Mr. President, can you hear us?
I can.
This place is going crazy.
I will say, General Flynn, he's some general, he's some man. He took abuse like nobody could have handled, and he came out bigger, better, stronger than ever before. We love him. He's a leader. And you just stay wealthy and healthy and well and everything. I want you to have great lives in general. You just have to stay healthy because we're bringing you back. We're going to bring you back.
He's going to bring them back, he says, meaning back into the Trump administration if Trump were to become president again. Michael Flynn is as unhinged as it gets, is QAnon adjacent, wanted martial law to be declared to keep Trump president. That would have been a fascist takeover, even though Trump lost the election, to keep himself in the White House. And that is who Trump will be surrounding himself with if he becomes president. Again, that is really concerning. Not only did Laura Trump and Eric Trump speak, Trump called in, Trump endorsed and associated with that type of event, which, again, it's not that it surprises us because we can't imagine that it would happen because we know Trump, we know who he is. But we need to remind ourselves how scary and serious this moment is, where a former president, current presidential candidate, most likely guy to get the nomination for one of the two major parties, their presidential nomination, two major parties in the most powerful country on the planet, that's the guy most likely who's going to get that nomination. It's very concerning, and he's associating with that and buys into a lot of that. That is very concerning, and how people would vote for Trump. I don't get it. In this upcoming election, such a threat to so many aspects of America that we have to keep intact. We have to keep protected. Our democracy, he threatens the very essence of it with what he did in 2020, who knows what he'll do in the future. And the wild views that he espouses and the people that he supports, their views, it's all so wild. And people will go, yeah, but I can't vote for a Democrat. Too much, people.